Hi, and welcome back for another daily dose of anime recaps. In this episode, we'll be covering 11th and 12th episodes of the newly released anime Blue Lock. Japan's soccer team needs to regroup after facing a shattering defeat in the 2018 World Cup. How are they going to select the best players from all over the country? Simple. The Japan Football Union gathers 300 of the best players in their Blue Lock training facility, where the soccer genius Iko Jinpachi wants to create the best team in the world with the best striker. Yoichi Isagi enters this equation by joining the training program when he receives an unusual invitation for this player improvement program. We join him on his crazy adventure where he finds himself playing for his life to get a spot on the team. Before we begin, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Episode 11 begins with the most intense match in its last remaining minutes. The ball is with Isagi, who starts a counterattack with Bachira, Kunigami, and Chigiri. He feels the four of them together can score. Isagi passes to Bachira, who gets past a few players. He's about to be fouled when Isagi asks for the ball back. He passes to Chigiri. The opponents are cautious about him, making Isagi request for the ball again. Chigiri believes that they can cut through their defenses with 1-2 passes. Team V believes the same, and their eyes are on Chigiri, so they can stop any incoming passes. Isagi doesn't pass, keeping the ball to himself. He used Chigiri as bait and the opponents took it. Kuwan thinks back and realizes that he had no intention to help them, but his body moved on its own. Sometimes, certain things are more important than doing nothing and winning. Watching Team Z, Kuwan sees the football he has always believed in. Isagi spots the last two defenders in front of him. He chooses to pass to Kunigami. However, he sees Tsurugi catching up to Kunigami, tackling him and clearing the ball towards the sideline. Raichi is angry and manages to reach the ball. With the same fury, he passes to Bachira, yelling that he told them to score. Isagi sees where Chigiri, Kunigami, and the defenders will go. His positioning for the goal is to the side, 19 meters from the goal line. Bachira passes to him, and Isagi knows that he must have felt what he is feeling. He has trusted him to score. He feels the goal, and he knows that he just needs to control and shoot the ball. However, Nagi comes from behind and he feels the chance slipping away. Isagi is confident that he can reach the ball first. However, his first touch will determine what happens. He tries to wonder how to stop the ball, but finds it too risky, and Nagi can also stop him. Isagi wants to score himself, despite the requests of Tsurugi and Kunigami to pass the ball to them. He realizes in that moment that he is just wasting time trying to figure out how to stop the ball. That is going to make him nobody in the future. Even though he has no speed, power, or technique, he is in the blue lock for his direct shot. This is the last piece in the formula. He won't try to control the ball, but instead he will shoot with his first touch. With his shot, the goalkeeper is unable to stop the ball. Isagi scores and Team Z is in the lead on the scoreboard with 5-4. Nagi hasn't given up, but has to with the sound of the final whistle. Team Z wins over Team V. Now Nagi knows how it feels to lose after a serious fight. Team Z celebrates and Kunigami invites Kuwan into the celebration. Raichi disagrees at first, but realizes that they would have lost if Kuwan hadn't tackled Nagi. Kuwan accepts and Raichi punches him, saying that he will hate him for the rest of his life, but now they are even. The announcer reveals the final standing, with all the games of Building 5 coming to an end. Team V is in the first position, and all of their 11 players continue on. Team Z is placed on second, and their 11 players continue as well. Team W is placed third, and their player, Junichi Wanama, continues as their top scorer with 6 goals. At least they got rid of one of the Wanama brothers. Iko Nico continues from Team Y with 4 goals. Baro continues with 10 goals from Team X. These 25 players will advance to Building 5's Blue Lock selection. Team Z is prepared to celebrate. Isagi and Bachira are on drinks duty, and as they go to get some, he thanks Bachira for passing him the ball. Bachira doesn't believe that he did something amazing, and he is sure that Isagi learned something about himself. Isagi tells him that he has finally understood what his weapon and talent is. Explaining further, Isagi points out that even after he predicts where the ball will be, knee, he loses out on the chance to shoot when he tries to control it. Realizing he scored his previous goals by taking a direct shot, he feels that he has completed the formula. Now his time as a striker begins. Moments later, they come across the other teams crying as they leave Blue Lock. They are relieved that they aren't amongst them. Nico congratulates them for surviving, since he has survived as well. He credits Isagi for motivating him to find his awakening. He doesn't restrain himself and pass to others anymore. He has switched his style and takes shots himself. He has remained in Blue Lock thanks to Isagi. However, he won't be losing next time and will crush Isagi. Isagi states that he is also there because of him, but won't lose to him. Isagi starts realizing that his goal ended someone else's dream, but that doesn't matter. He wants to win even more now. They return back to their team and find everyone fast asleep. They deserve their power naps after such an intense game. The next day arrives and Ego tells the players that they have to do physical conditioning without touching the ball. Yoichi wants to get on with the second selection. However, Ego tells him to do what he tells them since they are still at the bottom. Revealing that the top buildings were exempt from the first selection, he tells them that instead they did state-of-the-art training, so waiting is necessary until they have finished. They undergo his physical conditioning for 10 days. At last, the announcer asks them to gear up and head to the central basement area in their building. Everyone is excited to finally see the rest of the teams. Gathering with everyone, Isagi is shocked to see that the other players look a bit beat up. They include players in 237th rank and are from Team X and Team W even. Aren't all these players supposed to be disqualified? Ego pops up on the screen the next second saying that there are no players from buildings 1 through 4 because only building 5 exists in Blue Lock. He explains that they fought desperately in their first selection by thinking that they were in the bottom of the pile. It was all a ruse to break their half-baked confidence and awaken their hunger in them to become the best in the world. Giving the example of Noel Noah, who grew up in the slums and football was the only option to change his fate. There are more strikers like that in the world. However, being born in Japan doesn't teach them the same level of hunger for goals. He announced that they will be starting the second selection. The first selection meant finding out what it means to be a striker. The second selection multiplies that level with 100. It consists of 5 stages, and they get to move on to the next stage if they clear each stage. The players who pass the second selection will participate in a training camp with the world's top players who have been handpicked by Ego. They are instructed to go through the door when they are ready. This round of selection is much harder, and those who survive by pure luck of having good teammates will be out first. Only true egoists will remain. The players start wondering who should go first. That's when Ren Itachi kicks a ball in a gentle arc. He kicks the second ball with a low arching shot that curves and spins. It hits the first ball in the air. He declares that he is done with his warm-up and wants to enter the door. No one else must have a warm-up this cool. His name is displayed as the challenger and everyone realizes that he is Sayatoshi's brother. Igarashi believes that the place is filled with unreal players. Isagi and everyone else are sure that they are just as unreal, and Isagi goes through the door. Isagi enters a small area and gets a ball. A holographic man appears from Blue Lock with a holographic gate and goal zone. A red circle with the ball in the middle appears that starts to get smaller. He figures that this is situational training for the penalty area. He takes a shot. The man surprisingly saves the goal because he is a hologram. A timer has 90 minutes on it, and Isagi has to score 100 goals in the given time limit. That's how he can clear the first stage. 100 goals feels like a lot of work. The next ball, along with the goalkeeper and goal zone, appear at different locations. Isagi needs to assess the situation and score as each time they will be switching positions. He starts scoring one goal after another. He likes this training as it recreates the final moments in front of the goal, which means he can improve his shots. He has scored 30 goals in level 2 starts. 3 hologram defenders are added to the situation. He takes a shot and misses, realizing that this stage is much harder and he needs to work on his accuracy. Terry explains away all of our confusions, saying that the training room uses high-resolution panels that can fire a ball from its walls at random, similar to some top-level German facilities. Based on each player's individual qualities, the room creates appropriate situations to test them. The Blue Lock man is the AI hologram goalkeeper that has been programmed using data from the top goalkeepers of the world. So that hologram has the qualities of all the top goalkeepers. The microchips in the ball are the reason behind the possible physical interaction with the hologram. Now, our main confusion is cleared. Terry tells Ego that they have run out of funds, who doesn't care about money in front of his vision. Ego knows that those who survived with other skills and luck will find this challenging. However, those who can turn 0 into 1 with their weapon will evolve. We shift back to Isagi, who has scored 60 goals. The simulation turns from level 2 to level max. The difficulty keeps increasing, doesn't it? The defender holograms start moving and the ball also starts spinning. He fails to control the ball. Ego says that the max level recreates what happens in top-level matches. That's when players need to assess their situation and respond, do a quality shoot with accuracy, and have enough stamina to last for 90 minutes. Players need a presence of mind, technique, and physical strength to pass. Isagi has failed to score again, but thanks to all the physical conditioning, he can keep running. He realized that he scored all of his goals because of Bachira's passes, who passed the ball wherever he wanted. In the meantime, Kunigami used to draw defenders while Chigiri waited for his passes. All three of his teammates helped him score. He knows that he needs strength that allows him to fight alone. He tries harder and takes a shot, but the ball hits the post. It is frustrating, but he doesn't give up. His special awareness and position were perfect, but the ball didn't go where he thought it would. Maybe he lacks technique to make good contact. He only needs 70% of the power he was using to shoot and direct all of his attention to the point of impact. He gets excited when he manages to score since he has figured out a formula. He surely is discovering more sides to himself than he knows. Isagi finally manages to score 100 goals after a lot of effort and clears the first stage. Proceeding to stage 2, Isagi enters a room with other players. A message instructs him to form a team of 3 before going any further. He spots Nagi and Mikage and figures that they must be waiting for Tsurugi. Bachira arrives moments later and is happy to see Isagi. He assumes that they are forming a team and wonders who will be their third team member. Isagi is fine with that prospect and suggests forming a team with either Kunigami or Chirigi. Not wanting to choose, Isagi takes the easier option and says that they'll just go with whoever arrives there first. Surprisingly, Nagi approaches Isagi and asks him to form a team with him and Mikage. Mikage is shocked to hear that Nagi wanted to form a team with Isagi and waited for him. Isagi declines, saying that he is forming a team with Bachira. He shocks Mikage further by asking to join Isagi's team. Mikage wonders what he'll do. Nagi tells him that he taught him football because they wanted to become the best in the world. However, they lost and weren't the best. Mikage accepts, looking to Nagi's level of frustration. Isagi wants to play with Nagi and accepts his offer. Nagi tells Mikage that they will see each other later and proceeds with his newly formed team. This truly is an odd and exciting new team. They enter a tunnel when Bachira asks Nagi if he is cold-hearted. He replies by saying that he does miss Mikage, but he is following his ego and wants to join them. This dream team enters the third stage room, believing that they will win. They find Ren, Itoshi, Aryu, and Tokimitsu inside. Ego comes up on screen and explains that the third stage is a battle of 3 versus 3. Isagi worries about facing Itoshi. The scene shifts to Kunigami clearing the first stage and entering the room of second stage. He sees Chigiri, who tells him that Isagi, Bachira, and Nagi have formed a team. Kunigami is pissed off at being left behind. Chigiri feels the same and has a suggestion. Kunigami thinks that he might have the same suggestion, and both ask each other to form a team. Going back to Ego explaining the third stage, he says that the 3 versus 3 is a minigame with a blue lock man as their goalkeeper. The first team to score 5 goals is going to win. The winning team steals a man from the losing team and forms a team of 4. It sounds simple enough as Bachira and Nagi compare to a game called Red Rover. The fourth stage is a 4 versus 4 match where the winning team will again steal a member from the losing team and form a team of 5. The newly formed 5-man team will be the ones to clear the 5th stage and pass the second selection. Ego explains to Bachira that the losing team will go back 1 stage and play the 3 versus 3 match again. If they become a 2-man team, then they will play against another 2-man team. The remaining players who aren't selected will be disqualified. It sounds as ruthless as it sounds confusing. The second selection is apparently named as the Rivalry Battle, a game where you steal your rivals. They are free to choose which teams they play, and both the teams should agree free to play a match. More teams will be coming to this room after being formed, so Isagi doesn't think it's necessary to play against Itoshi. Nagi agrees that if they are free to choose who they play against, they should select whoever they want. Ego wants to aid them in selecting their opposing team by announcing the Blue Lock rankings. He is smart enough to reveal information in perfect situations. Isagi's new rank is 15, as Ego tells them that this time there are no fake rankings. It is the order in which they pass the first stage. Bachira is on the 16th rank, while Nagi is on 7th. Isagi is still wondering if they should wait for another team to come. He sees that Takemitsu is ranked 3rd, who is really nervous and has started to panic, thinking that no one will pick him if he loses. Ryu is ranked 2nd and suggests they should play against the players who were ranked 4th, 5th, and 6th. Playing with a low-ranking team like Isagi's is not going to make him beautiful. Telling him to shut up, Itoshi speaks out that he really doesn't care who they face. He is here to win, and both of his team members are there to fill numbers for him. He further says that he only formed a team with them because they were the first ones to clear the stage. For him, Blue Lock and everyone else are just a stepping stone to join U20. Itoshi is only interested in surpassing his brother by joining a national team, and he has the confidence that says that he never loses. Isagi is hearing all of this. He apologizes to Bachira and Nagi and goes to him. He says to Itoshi that if he doesn't care who he plays against, Isagi's ego wants him to play against Itoshi. Will Itoshi accept Isagi's offer? How will Bachira and Nagi react to Isagi's decision? Is Isagi going to satisfy his ego by winning? Who is going to win this interesting 3 versus 3 game? We'll find out in the next couple of episodes of Blue Lock, and if you're a subscriber with notifications enabled, you'll find out soon enough.